Aloha wing foilers! I've been lucky to have the opportunity to ride the new Duotone wings, both the Unit and the Unit D-Lab. In this video, I want to share what I've learned so far about the new wings, how I like to set them up, and I'll share the wings with some friends to get their thoughts. Come along for the ride. Let's first look at the Unit. A huge improvement over last year's models are these handles. And it's the same handle whether you're using the D-Lab, Unit, or just the Unit. The handles are stiff. There's no lateral flex like with the webbing handle. And they're strong. And although I don't jump, the team riders have been putting the handles to the test. Just a quick disclosure, I'm not a team rider nor an employee. Just an enthusiast who has early access to Duotone wings. Another feature of the handles, which you really can't tell from this video, is that they're oval shaped. So they're very comfortable in your hand, whether you're palm up or palm down. The handles are also a smaller diameter, smaller than the slick boom, so they're really comfortable no matter what size your hands are. The handles are mounted straddling the wing's center of effort, or balance point. They're spaced closer together on the smaller wings and further apart on the larger wings. I can steer the wing with one hand from the front handle, and I can sheet the wing in with one hand. I can't fully sheet in because I can't get my hand opposite the center of effort like I can with the slick. But that doesn't seem to be a problem. Now I'm used to the slick boom, and during transitions I would often do an air grab and in between the two handles because I'm looking where I'm going, I'm not looking at the handle, so it took me a little time to get used to the placement. One of the things you'll take note of are the different size wings takes different pressures. In this case I have a 4 and a 3 right here. 4 meter takes 8.5 pounds of pressure, pounds per square inch. Where the 3 meter takes 9.5. So the smaller sizes have a higher pressure. I've been using the Unit in the surf for the simple reason I don't want to risk damaging my D-Lab in the waves. I mean, really, you can use either model. I think the Dacron is, in the long run, might be more durable, but that's the question that'll be answered over time. Now, if you compare the two models, they're virtually identical in shape. The handles are the same. What makes the D-Lab different, it's the Alula, the material. It's super light, super stiff, which equals performance. And if you're into performance, it's worth the additional expense. Both models come with a backpack style bag where you can attach the pump, and it's a spacious bag so the wing easily fits. Also in the bag is a little patch kit. It includes a product manual in a bunch of different languages, a little scrap of ripstop for your canopy, a tool to remove the ring on the bladder if you have to take the bladder out, and a little patch kit for the bladder. Whichever model I'm using, I set them up the same way. I like these cuff type leashes here. You can put it on with one hand and pull it tight, as opposed to the type that wrap around this way. And you can loosen them up so it turns on your wrist. And then put the handle, the wrist through there, slip it over. Should check this knot regularly before you hit the water every time. Make sure that it's tight. And inspect your Velcro and just double check your leash on a regular basis. Goes for all wings. On the handles, I like to use a harness line. This is just a regular Duotone brand windsurfing harness line, but to slip it over, you have to take the screw out. It's a number 3 Phillips head. Just takes a few turns, pops out. Fit it back in. Make it snug, but don't crank it. These are 30-inch harness lines, which I like the longer sizes for the bigger wings. Now 5 is sort of middle of the road. Oh, I lost the screw. Don't lose the screw. These are a little bit long for the 5, but I'm going to give it a try today. Make sure that it's seated in there. Don't cross thread it. It should go in easy. And then snug. And you can move them around on the handles to find your balance point, which I'll do on the water. Now there's another style of harness line if you don't want to take your handles off. These Velcro on, and these also work with the older style units or any wing where the handles are sewn on. It's a bit of a puzzle. Now the newer wings have a dump valve on the starboard wingtip, right here. So you want to make sure you close that. One, there's also a dump valve in the center strut. And I have pumped up my wing numerous times, wondering why it wasn't getting hard, only to discover that I didn't close these dump valves. Before I attach the hose, I'll give it a few pumps to flush out any sand. And when I do attach it, I'm sure to mate the hose tightly. This will ensure the pressure gauge is reading true. Now you may think your gauge is broken because there's a lot of pressure, but it really takes a fair amount of effort to pump this thing up to 6.5 pounds. There it goes, it's starting to show. Now it gets hard. I'm going to switch the valve over from 2 to 1. There's the 1. Now it's easy to lift, but pressure to pump. And I'm going to hold it in, but turn it. Close it up. Sometimes sand gets caught right in here, so you need to hold this as you turn it. Now also, as a new feature like they have on the kites, there's a lock here, and it pinches the tube between the main bladder and the strut bladder. You pinch that. So in the event that you have a leak or an accident, you at least have flotation in one of the two. First thing you'll notice when you hold the wing is it's incredibly light and stiff, super stiff. Tight canopy, really crisp struts. I mean, the lightness adds to really easy handling. So I'm riding a custom 55-liter skyboard matched with a GoFoil It's the newer front wing. So it's light and stiff, super responsive. And fast. Going upwind. Go fast. And fast again. One thing I have noticed about riding the units, especially the D-Lab model, is I can handle a bigger wing in wind speeds that I would have previously been overpowered. And in moderate conditions, I can control the wing at my fingertips. The dump valve on the starboard wingtip will allow you to roll the wing from one wingtip to the other. So when you roll it up, you want to flatten the bladder so you're rolling it on the seam. And that just makes for a nicer package, more compact, and maybe it'll make the cloth last longer as opposed to folding it this way. Avoid folding or creasing the windows, especially if you live in a cold climate. I had a few friends take the D-Lab out for a spin. Earlier I spoke about controlling the wing with your fingertips. If you look closely, you can see Liz doing that here. I didn't get video of everyone that rode the wing, but here's some interviews. So Sean, what do you think of this wing?
I really liked it. You know, I've tried a couple different wings, different configurations, different sizes, both with like full booms and also with multiple handles. I like this. It's kind of a bit of a hybrid between the two. So you've got the option to move your hands easily and quickly, but you don't have all these 8 options to choose from. So it felt pretty intuitive in that way. And it feels like a very strong wing too. I like this material. Very strong, lightweight, keeps its form and shape. So yeah, thumbs up.
It floats very nicely on its handle. I tried that a few times. And it's not heavy. Very efficient wing. I'm liking it.
All of it. I mean, its weight is extraordinary. And I'm constrained by how high I can raise my shoulders, my arms without bringing my shoulders, but I can bring this wing overhead easily.
The wing feels really stiff and smooth. Yeah,
really good. I was pointing 20 degrees higher than any other wing around here.
I like the fact that it's almost dry, regardless of how much exposure to the water itself. And it just made jibing and riding so much more connected and easily executed. And that's from an intermediate's perspective for sure.
Awesome. I'm very happy to get to try this. Thank you, Alan. Really good.
I had a student ask me, considering the additional cost of the D-Lab, would I benefit as an intermediate rider from the D-Lab versus the Dacron unit? And my response was, I can't make that financial decision for you, but I can say you get the most value or the biggest difference in performance in the larger sizes.
This video was sponsored by patrons of Alan Cadiz. If you would like to watch his premium wing foil instructional videos, please join the team at patreon.com/Alan Cadiz.